What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Team Fish Knuckles YouTube channel. Today is the Pokemon World Championship 2019, the last World Championship we had before the pandemic hit, and we didn't have the World Championship for 2 years. So whoever wins this is the World Champion for technically 3 years in a row. And on the left, we have Shintaro Ito, who was the World Champion in 2016, playing the Mega Audino deck. And today he's playing Blacephalon GX Naganadel. And on the right, we have Henry Brand playing his Mewtwo and Mew GX and Friends deck. I guess that's what you want to call it. Two pretty interesting decks. The Blacephalon deck relies on using B-strings and you get a bunch of energies in play with Naganadel, and then does 50 times of each energy you put in the Lost Zone. So you can discard 6 or put 6 in the Lost Zone and do 300 damage and knock out tag team Pokemon to take 3 prize cards. While Blacephalon's only giving up 2 prize cards, and then Henry Brand's going to use Mewtwo and Mew GX with the Perfection. So Perfection ability, I forget exactly what it's called, but you can use any abilities, you can use any GX ability that's in your discard pile or on your bench. So Mewtwo pretty much can just copy whoever they want when they're attacking. So here we go into the finals of 2019. Like I said, this is the last year before the pandemic hit. If Shintaro wins, he'll become the second person to become a world champion 2 times. We saw Igor almost did it, right? And now we have Shintaro here. Can he do it? He'll be the second person to ever win 2 times. Jason Klasinski is the only one to do it. He's done it so well. He's won it 3 times. So can Shintaro reach that rank of the second person to ever win 2 times? Or will Henry Brand win and be the first Masters champion to actually win a world champion? That's a big deal. Can he put Australia on the map? So these are 2 big kind of accomplishments we have here going on. So we see Mysterious Treasure, going to find that Mewtwo. We're going to see a turn 1 Welder, attach 2 Fighter Gs to that Mewtwo and Mew GX, and now draw 3 cards. It's a pretty cool combo here. You can attach Fighter Gs while drawing cards. We see an Acrobike. Go and discard a Cherish Ball, which lets you search for a GX card. We see a Psychic Energy attachment to the Mewtwo Mew GX, and just a pass onto Shintaro's turn. Now, Shintaro does have Poipole, and I imagine, maybe not, but I imagine we're going to see a long game that Shintaro's real, first world champion, where he won in 5 or 6 turns. So we'll see what happens. We see 2 Poipole come down, and Shintaro's thinking here, maybe he has a bad hand. What does he have? Looks like we see a Cherish Ball. Okay, go to search deck for any GX card. Now, in this format, Dedenne GX is a card that we can play. You can discard your hand and draw 6 cards. We'll see if that is something Shintaro decides to do. If he even plays Dedenne, that's the real question here. Does he play Dedenne? But the thing about these Poipole, if they evolve into Naganadel, now Naganadel can get an energy out of your discard pile and attach it to Naganadel. It can be any energy card, which is pretty interesting. And there's also Naganadel GX, which lets you discard an Ultra Beast Pokemon and draw 3, or an Ultra Beast card, I think, right? And draw 3. And also has Venom Shot. You discard 2 and do 120 to a benched Pokemon. So that's pretty cool. And on Henry Brand's side, we didn't talk about this, but he has a lot of Yas GX. Basically, it has an attack where tag teams can't hurt you. And it also has free retreat, so that's pretty cool. But we do see the Blacephalon GX come down with the Lost Burn attack. I forget what the first attack is called. The third attack is a GX attack, and it just says take a prize card, or discard a prize card with Fire to detach it. There it is. Bursted Bird. Opponent's active Pokemon that burn and confuse. Third attack is Burst GX. Discard one of your prize cards. If it's an energy, attach it to one of your Pokemon. But on Henry's turn, we see Pokegear. I think he already used Acrobike last turn. But Pokegear 3.0, go look at the top 7 cards of his deck, find a supporter card, and put it into his hand. So I imagine he's trying to find maybe more Welders, trying to get set up, right? There we see Welder going to his hand. And I think this is the first World Championship where we didn't see an end play on the first turn in a minute. End has been played so many times, and I don't think end ends even in this format. So it's the first World Championship where we don't have end in a very, very, very long time. But we see a Cherish Ball. I don't know what card Pokegear got. I was talking too much. I forgot. I'm sorry. I apologize. But Cherish Ball, looks like he's going to grab... looks like he grabbed Welder. He's probably going to grab Reshiram and Charizard. Or another Mewtwo and Mew. Looks like it is going to be a Reshiram and Charizard. Oh, Dedenne could be a thing too. Looks like Reshiram and Charizard. I think Reshiram and Charizard is probably better if you have the Welder. Reshiram and Charizard is just good. Second attack does 230, can attack next turn, and then the third attack is like 200. If there's 3 more energies attached to it, it does 100 damage. Oh, Fuzz Strike is 4 energies, 230. So that's pretty good. But we do see double Custom Catcher. Now, Custom Catcher is a pretty interesting card in this format because there was no boss orders. You had to use Custom Catchers. Custom Catcher says if you play one of these, draw you have 3 cards in your hand. Or if you play 2 of them, switch when your opponent's bench Pokemon with their active. So we see double Custom Catcher, bring out the Blacephalon. Latios is going to retreat, and then we're going to see Mewtwo, Mew GX use the second attack, 230. You can't use Flare Strike again next turn. So that's pretty important to point out. But here, Brandon, taking the quick price card, going down to 4. And this is going to be pretty interesting because this is going to activate Base String. Base String says if your opponent has 3 or 4 price cards left, search check for 2 energies and attach them to one of your Ultra Beast Pokemon. So we see a Beast String attached to the active Poipole. We see another Beast String attached to the bench Poipole. We see a third Beast String. So he's gotten 6 energies out from these Beast Strings. Okay, fair enough. Let's see what else. He's got 2 cards in hand, and he's going to play Custom Catcher, so to draw 2 cards because it's 1 in hand. So these have to be pretty important 2 cards. Let's see what those cards are. This is a pretty big deal here. Gonna rearrange some of the board state. Gotta make sure those energies are lined up. And we see, it looks like Naganadel and Hapu. So Hapu's gonna look at top 6 cards of your deck, put 2 in the hand, and discard the other 4. That's a pretty risky card. But if it pays off, Shintaro could be in a really good spot here. So see what Shintaro decides to get off this Hapu. A card you really don't see outside of this. So we're gonna discard Lily, Fire Energy, Mystery Treasure, and something else. But he's got Ultra Space. Ultra Space can let you find an Ultra Beast Pokemon and put it into your hand. So we see Naganadel GX coming out. And like I said, he can use Naganadel's ability, discard an Ultra Beast, and draw 3 cards. Pretty strong, especially in Shintaro decks where he plays a bunch of Ultra Beast Pokemon. So Naganadel GX come down. He plays 2 different types of Poipole. I don't know the difference between the 2. They probably do something. I mean, they obviously do something different. I just don't know what it is. But Naganadel coming to the active. We're going to use the ability to actually draw 3. There we go. It's got Ultra Conversion. Discard an Ultra Beast and draw 3. We see Blacephalon GX come down. A regular Naganadel comes out, so you can use that ability to get another energy out. Going to attach to Blacephalon per turn because he used 3 Ultra Beasts, or 3 Beast Strings. And we see a Dedenne discard the hand, draw 6 new cards. So all of a sudden, Shintaro has a bunch of energies, but that Blacephalon can't attack. So what does Shintaro do here? He finds Heatran GX. Now, Heatran GX has a pretty cool ability, Burning Road, when it comes from your active to your bench to your active. You can move your fire energies any way you want to. And a Hot Burn GX does 50 times the amount of energy, fire energy attached to this Pokemon. So if he moves 6 energies up to this Blacephalon when it comes to the active spot, he actually can knock out this Mewtwo Mew GX and take 3 prize cards and actually get, he actually can start winning this game. That's pretty amazing. We see Poipole come down. We see Heatran come online. We're going to see probably the retreat to the Heatran, and we are going to see a knockout here. And Shintaro will take the first massive knockout here, moving 6 energies up to the Heatran. And we'll see Shintaro take 3 prize cards. Alrighty. So that's a pretty big deal. Yep, Shintaro going to take a knockout here. Going to use the GX tech. And, yep, there we go. Taking 3 prize cards. Naganadel, Mysterious Treasure, and a Fire Energy. And we're going to use Ultra Space for Henry Brand. So he can start check for his own Ultra Base and put it to his hand if he does play any. And he does also play the Naganadel GX. So he can snipe a bench Pokemon. He's not going to really use the ability because he doesn't play Poipole. But he's going to discard it with the Giant Hearth. Discard a card from your hand and search deck for 3 Fire Energies. He's going to put 2 Fire Energies in his hand. Electromagnetic Radar. He's going to discard Markargo GX and a Mewtwo Mew GX and search deck for any 2 Lightning Pokemon, right? Lightning Pokemon GX, Lightning Pokemon, I can't remember which one it is. But going to find that Dedenne to discard his hand, draw 6 new cards, and try to just go crazy this turn. Looks like he does have a Welder as well. So, does Giant Hearth only grab 2? Giant Hearth. Because, I mean, if you did 3, then you would definitely grab 3, right? Maybe I'm wrong with the Giant Hearth. Maybe there's only 2, and I'm mistaking, right? But we do see an Acrobike. Look at the top 2 cards of its deck. Mysterious Treasure, and a Fire Crystal. So the Fire Crystal will allow him to find a Fire energy, and then he can attack with the Charizard, Reshiram Charizard GX, and maybe go for the GX attack here and do 200 damage to take a knockout. And that way you can use a regular attack next turn to do 230 to knock out a Blacephalon, if a Blacephalon can take a knockout. But can Blacephalon take a knockout next turn? It would need 6 energies to take a knockout, right? He can't use Ultra B-String anymore because he's going to be at 2 price cards. So he's got a Welder, 3, attach 4, double Naganadel, and that would be 6. So Shintaro can take a knockout this turn coming up. But let's see what Shintaro decides to do. He's going to look at his opponent's discard pile, see what's all in there, see, okay, what decisions can I make here? Who can I send up? What's the smart play? I can send up a Blacephalon and potentially win, but if I whiff, I will get knocked out, right? So that's a big thing. I could send up like a Naganadel and get set up, but if Henry finds like double Custom Catcher, he can bring him up a Blacephalon, take a knockout. And I think what's eventually going to happen, and I'll explain what's going to happen. I think if I remember correctly, I'll talk about what's happening here in a second. But Shitaro's still trying to decide what is going on. And going to send up the Blacephalon. He's still thinking. Going to send up Blacephalon GX. Doesn't know what to do. Going to send up Blacephalon. And going to draw a card. Okay, and this is where the match kind of stops. And I'll explain what's going on. So, if I remember correctly, Henry Brand is about to get a 2-price penalty because Shintaro is taking too long on his actions. And then in the early rounds, in the top 4 and top 8, Shintaro actually got warnings against playing against Toward Redcliffe. I think for not playing at pace. So I think that's what's happening here. If Shitaro's taking too long. And if you're wondering, my YouTube videos are actually 2 times speed. So even he took that long at 2 times speed, I think that's what's happening. I think they gave Shintaro, or they gave Hinderbrand a 2-prize penalty because Shintaro was taking too long and had already had multiple warnings. Would have Shintaro won? I don't know. I can't speak. We could maybe rewind and watch the video to see what he drew, but there's really no need to do that. So we're just going to fast forward. Unfortunately, it came down to that. But, I mean, Henry Brand was in a really good spot. It came down to Shintaro Ito. Could he find the 6 energies to take a knockout or not? That's the big question. The thing is, he did have a bunch of fire energies in his discard pile, so that could maybe be problematic, and he maybe not have had enough. Who knows? But here we go. On to game number 2. Unfortunately, a way for Henry Brand to win is kind of unfortunate, but it happens, right? It happens. But on Shitaro's turn, you can see he's playing significantly quicker now. All of a sudden, we do see Mysterious Treasure, discard a Fire, get a Poipole, Ultra Beast, or I forget what the Ultra Beast Stadium is called, but going to find a Naganadel GX. Okay. And let's see what else happens. We're going to see Fire Energy deactive. We can't attack turn 1, so we'll pass. So this is the year where you can attack turn 1. Welder to the active. Already on the Mewtwo, so just start in Welder, put 2 energies in the Mewtwo is fantastic. We'll see Cherish Ball look his deck for a GX Pokemon and put it in his hand. Can find the Dedenne to discard his hand, draw 6. But he needs Pokemon in the discard pile. He really wants that Reshiram and Charizard, right? That's probably the best way to do it. He can use the GX attack and take an early knockout with Reshiram and Charizard. It will do 200 for 3 energies. So he needs 3. He needs 4 to use the middle attack for 230. So that's what we might see here. We use the Ultra Space to find Naganadel GX, just sitting the deck out, and plus getting the Naganadel in the discard pile is really good. So there's Naganadel GX. But if Hinderbrand does take a knockout, we could see a situation like last game where Shintaro has access to his Ultra Beast. So we see Giant Heart discarding the Naganadel GX. It's actually for 2 fire energies. I don't know why I thought it was 3. I guess I thought it was 3 because Welder draws 3 cards. That's the only correlation I can think of why I thought it was put 3 energies. They receive Marshadow. Now this Marshadow is pretty interesting. It has Reset Hole. You can discard this Marshadow and bump a Stadium. But it also has a really good attack. It does 10. And if it's an Ultra Beast Pokemon, you do 50 or 60 more HP, or 50 or 60 more damage. And there we see Mewtwo use the Restroom and Charizard's attack, do 200 damage, and knocking out that Blacephalon on turn 1. Now on the Shitaro's turn, he's got the Naganadel GX, so he can discard a Ultra Beast to draw. And also he attaches a Psychic Naganadel and use a Lily to draw. You have 6 cards in your hand. What a great turn 2, but did he find any Ultra or any Beast Rings? That's the big question here. We do see the GX Cherish Ball to find the Naganadel GX, so you can discard that, draw 2. We're going to see a second Cherish Ball to find another GX. Maybe find another Blacephalon, maybe find Dedenne. We'll see what he decides to do here. There's another Blacephalon, okay. He hasn't used Ultra Conversion just yet. He's going to use Giant Hearth to discard Heatran to find 2 Fire Energies. Shitaro's got a lot going on. Now, he already used a Lily, so he can't use Wells or anything like that, so that's a big thing to remember. And he already attached a Psychic to the active, so he can't attach a Fire Energy to this Blacephalon, okay? I think we're just joking about the judges once again. There's a lot of talking in this Worlds match, unfortunately. A lot of just like questions, I think, is what's happening. So we'll see what happens. But I mean, Shitaro, what he really needs is some Beast Rings. I don't know if he hit any or not. I don't remember seeing any in his hand, unfortunately. So we see Psychic Energy being just adjusted. We see Naganadel drawn 3. So you got double Custom Catchers, Mysterious Treasure, discard the Fire to find another Poipole. Okay, but I really don't see any Beast Rings in Shitaro's hand. That's what this deck thrives on, is to find these Beast Rings to take knockouts on these tag team Pokemon's turn 2. So we do see a reset state, which could put Henry at 4. We see a Fire G attachment, but he already attached. The judges did catch that, so that's good. We see Nagadel's ability to get a Fire G out. We see reset stamp. Going to shuffle Henry's hand to deck and draw as many cards he has as prize cards remaining. So it's kind of like a vanilla in here. You can reset Henry down to 4 cards in his hand, which is pretty good. Alrighty, going to get a little shuffle here. Let's see what else does Shintaro have this turn. I mean, I definitely don't see any Beast Rings in his hand. I see Custom Catcher. So he's going to Shriek into the Poipole and just a pass. Now, if Henry could take a knockout of Blacephalon GX or the Naganadel GX, he is like in fantastic spot here. So is he a Mysterious Treasure, discard a Psychic Energy. Let's see what Henry decides to do here. Looks like he's going to have another Mewtwo Mew GX. Going to put that down. Maybe just power another Mewtwo Mew GX up. It's not a bad idea either. Just send a multiple Mewtwo Mew saying, hey, like, you're going to knock out the first one, you're going to knock out the second one, kind of thing. He does have Acrobike. We're going to see some shuffles from Shintaro. And I think if I remember correctly, I think they're talking about, like, maybe a time extension, or how do you, like, randomly shuffle the deck? Because I think Shintaro got warning for randomization or something. My brain's not the best, but I think it's like has to do either with like randomization or time extension, but I don't think time extension is really going to matter. I mean, they have 49 minutes left. Both these decks are like super fast at price cards. Like Shintaro's deck like just blows up tag team Pokemon's. Henry's deck is like super fast and aggressive. So I don't see time really being that much of a factor. So it might be more so of a randomization question, but I couldn't tell you either. It's been a couple years, but what Henry really is looking for is maybe like double Custom Catcher Latios. Oh, I don't know. Like switch the Latios double Custom Catcher up like a Blacephalon or something. I don't know. We'll see what happens here. There's a lot of options with the Henry brand deck just because he can copy any Pokemon in the discard pile. He plays cards like Solgaleo GX. He plays like Macargo GX. He plays a bunch of random stuff. So see Acrobike, look at the top 2 cards of his deck. Let's see what he decides to discard. Let's say he discards the Fire Energy. Puts a Psychic Energy in his hand. Going to use Giant Hearth, discards a Mewtwo and Mew. Now, interesting enough, he does draw the Psychic Energy and keeps it, even though he just discarded one. Did he just discard one? Am I crazy? Did he discard a Psychic Energy? Hang on one second, guys. I'm confused now. We're going to rewind it real quick. What did he discard the Psychic Energy with? We're gonna backtrack just a little bit, guys. Hold on one second. So he discards a Mysterious Treasure and discards Psychic Energy. Okay. Let's go back. Let's go forward now. Alright, so to Henry's turn. So Acrobike keeps the Psychic Energy. Giant Heart discards a Mewtwo to find 2 fires. Okay, so we're back here. It's interesting that he discards the Psychic Energy. Yeah. Anyways, gets 2 fire energies. And let's see what Henry decides to do with these fire energies. Does he have Welder in hand to power this bench Reshiram Charizard? Let's see here. So Welder 2 to the Reshiram Charizard. Okay, 1, 2, 3. And so he's got the Psychic Energy in hand. He's going to look to his discard pile. And then he's going to attach the Psychic to the active. And then he's going to use Naganadel GX attack to knock out the Naganadel on the bench. Because it does 120 to a bench Pokemon. That's what I'm saying. It's kind of weird that he discarded the Psychic, then like went for the Ultra or went for the Venushot play. I guess he might have had a different idea in his head. And then like didn't hit it. So he went for the Venushot play, I guess is what happened. So I was pretty sure he used Venushot there. So. But anyways, on Shitaro's turn. We're going to see his face for a good minute. Just take away the face cams, please, Pokemon. Or just use them at the beginning of the games or at the end of the games, not like right now because I don't know what happened. There's a Mew all of a sudden on the bench. We were custom capturing, drawn 3. Cynthia going to shuffle, draw 6. I'm not sure what else happened, but Mew has hit the field. So I imagine he probably played his hand down as much as he could to use custom catcher to draw. You have 3 cards in your hand. So I guess that's what happened. And so we'll see Cynthia drawn 6. Now, Shintaro can still use B-String. And this is the last turn he can use B-String. Because outside of this, Henry's going to probably take a prize card next turn. And then Shintaro can't use B-String. But as you see, Shintaro, once again, does not have B-Strings. We see Naganadel come out. Going to use the ability, get a Fire Energy attached to the Naganadel. He does have 1 B-String. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. So he's got 4 energies in play. Alrighty. But does he have another B-String? And not only that, he'll need a B-String and a way to switch. And, okay, custom catcher for 1. And there's the other B-String. Okay. So he's going to have enough energies in the field. But the problem is, he has 6 in the field, but he has to discard an energy to send out the Blacephalon. So if he had promoted the Blacephalon to start the turn, I don't know if that was an option or not. I can't remember. I imagine it was, right? Did he have a second Blacephalon down the field? I'm not sure. But anyways, hits the energy. You're going to put 2 on the Poipole. But like I said, unfortunately, Shintaro can't take a knockout right now. Because he has to discard an energy to attack with the Blacephalon, which is kind of unfortunate here. So they're going to send up Blacephalon. Going to use the first attack to actually burn and confuse the Mewtwo. So burn damage will hit. Take 20, flip for the burn, and it is Tails, so the Mewtwo and Mew GX is still burned. So on Henry's turn, he needs to find a way to get this Mewtwo out of the active spot, right? That's the big kicker here. So Henry's going to discard, or Acrobike discard Electromagnetic Radar. We see Cherish Ball, going to search deck for a GX Pokemon. And what GX Pokemon will he grab? It looks like Solgaleo GX. At first attack, there's like 120 attached 2 energy cards from just about one of your bench Pokemon, if I remember correctly. It's been a minute since I've seen that card, but it's a promo card. Probably one of the best promo cards we had outside of Zoroark GX, right? So, Pokegear, look at top 7. Going to make sure that Shintaro shuffles the deck up, make sure randomization is correctly. And I imagine, once again, Henry is looking for either... he's probably looking for Welder. Like always, it's your best supporter card in the deck. You play 4 of those for a reason. Let's see, what does he find? And he's going to find Bill Analysis, a card that I don't think we ever saw play outside of the World Championship. Look at 7 cards in your deck, put 2 trainer cards you find there and put in your hand, shuffle the other cards back into your deck. It's interesting, too, because most people, when they played the Mewtwo and Mew GX deck, they played Hapu, which, again, like, look at top 6, put 2, and discard the others. But Henry said, you know what, I'm using Bill Analysis to try to find trainer cards. So here we go, build analysis. Look at top 7. Does he find a switch? Because that's what we really care about to get this Mewtwo out of the active spot. Looks like we see Custom Catcher. He could bring a Pokemon bench to the active. And maybe a Cherish Ball. Going to get a Mysterious Treasure. Okay. Does he have double Custom Catcher? Ooh, that could be spicy. Could take a knockout on a bench Pokemon, maybe? And there we go. Double Custom Catcher. Going to bring up the Poipo, actually. Going to take away the Naganadel. And we see Marshadow getting an energy. Which again, if that Marshadow attacks, it's got that Red Knuckles ability. It does 10. And if your Pokemon's active Pokemon's Ultra Beast, you do 60 more damage, which will knock out the Poipo. That puts Henry Brand at 2 prize cards left. And takes Shintaro out of the Beast Ring play. So we see Mysterious Treasure grabbing the Latios because that free retreat's very, very good. And let's see what Henry Brand has in the hand. We know there's a Dedenne GX in there. So he could use the Dedenne. And there we go. Dedenne discarded Giant Hearth. Does he find a switch or not? That is the big question. And there's Acrobat. Look at the top 2 cards of his deck. Looks like he grabbed a Custom Catcher. And the switch was already in the hand. So there we go. Going to send up the Marshadow. Use that Red Knuckles attack. Marshadow taking a knockout in the World Championship. I don't think anybody would have put the money on that one. But there we go. Marshadow doing its thing. That's pretty impressive. It was mainly for Power Plant. Because Power Plant shut down Mewtwo GX and stuff like that. But we see Shintaro using Giant Hearth. Discard a card. Getting 2 Fighter Gs. Let's see what else does he have here. He's got Beast Energy in hand, so you do additional 30 damage. He's got some Fire Energies. Welder 2 to the Naganadel. Draw 3. But man, I don't think Shintaro has any more custom catches either. He can't use Beast Rings. I have no idea how Shintaro is going to come back. 6-2, guys. Oh man, it's not looking good. Oh, let's see what happens. All right. Got one there. Ultra Beast. Discard of Ultra Beast all 3. And what can Shintaro do? Looks like Shintaro. Oh, he doesn't have a good look on his face. All Henry Brand needs next turn is like a Welder 2 to a Mewtwo, take a knockout. Right? That is something he could do next turn. So let's see what Shintaro does. He's got that Beast Energy to do additional 30 damage. Shintaro's not really sure what to do. I mean, he is definitely in trouble here, 100%. So put the Beast Energy on the Blacephalon. Heat Factory, I think that's what it is. Discard Fire, draw 3. And we're going to see the GX attack. Discard a price card, and if it's an energy attached. So he's down to 5 price cards. Shintaro did take one with Blacephalon's play. So on a Henry's turn, we see Cherish Ball. I don't think Cherish Ball got anything. I think he was using to see his deck. He then used Giant Heart to discard Macargo just for Fire Energy. He's going to grab the single Fire Energy. Then he's going to retreat into the Mewtwo GX, use Macargo's Lava, I think it's a Lava Flow. What is it? Lava Flow does 50 plus 50 for each energy you discard. Discards 3 energies, and then he'll become a world champion. So we'll see it one more time. Discards Macargo, finds a Fire Energy, attach the Fire Energy to Mewtwo GX, retreats to Marshadow, use Lava Flow for 200 damage, knock out the Blacephalon GX, and Henry Brand will become a world champion. And not only will he become a world champion, I guess hypothetically he is our 3-time world champion because we haven't had a world championship since 2019. And I guess interesting enough too, in 2018, we saw Robin take down the Victory 2-0. In 2017, we saw Diego take down the World Championship 2-0. And 2016, we saw Shintaro take down Cody Walensky 2-0. In 2015, we saw Jacob Van Wagner take down Mies 2-0. 2014. Do we go to game 3 in 2014? Oh man, my brain is trying to remember. Oh man, I don't know. Look at Bert. We're so happy. Yeah, we haven't been to a game 3 in probably 10 years. I'll have to look that up now. I'm so interested to see how we have been to a game 3 or not. But guys, there we go. like I said, Hinderbrand, our current world champion. It's going to be interesting to see what happens this weekend. Will Henry defend the title and become a 2-time world champion? Or we have something new happen? Will Shotaro become our 2-time world champion? I don't think Igor is going to play at this world champion, so we don't have anything that can do that. But will somebody become our 2-time world champion? That is going to be the big question, right? But guys, hope you enjoyed this series and me commentating over the World Championship. I'm so excited for this weekend to watch everybody in London compete. Who knows, maybe next year I'll decide to compete and play in the 2023 World Championship. Maybe I'll come out and play Pokemon. We'll see. But guys, I'm excited. Have a great day. And yeah, we'll see what happens this weekend. Alrighty, bye.